My daughter's 56-year-old teacher used my credit card to book a motel for them. When I knocked on the door confronting them, he told me, "She wants me." Yeah, buddy, so does the police. My daughter was every father's dream. Up until the age of 16, she had no interest in dating. She never even had a crush from those boy bands Big Time Rush or One Root. Honestly, most men are so horrible that I would have been more than happy for her to move in and live happily ever after with her girl best friend, and maybe a few cats or something. But then came the day every parent dreads. She came home and I noticed she was a lot more zoned out than usual, but not in a teenage depression sort of way. Her cheeks were flushed and there was a spark in her eye. My paternalistic instinct kicked into overdrive. I knew it was a boy, but I also knew something else. By mentioning the B word, she would instantly go into teenage mode and completely ignore me. So I pretended to not notice, and she bought it. Because every day she made it more and more obvious. She was putting 10 times more effort into her outfits, spending more money on makeup, smiling at her phone. And I know what I said before, but regardless, I was happy for her. And one day, my dream finally came true. Well, kinda. Because she asked me for boy advice. It made me cringe inside that my baby girl was growing up. But at the same time, I was glad she wanted me to be a part of her new grown-up life. "Hey Dad, how do you know if a boy likes you?" she asked innocently. "Honey, most men are idiots. They are simply incapable of hiding their emotions. So if you're unsure, take that as your sign that he doesn't." "I'm not unsure, I was just asking." I sighed and stayed silent. The usual procedure for when my daughter gets possessed by the evil demon also known as teenage hormones. A few minutes later, she started smiling again, and the tension in the room automatically cleared. The feeling can only be compared to a sunrise on a summer's day. Oh, the joys of being a father. Over the next few days, I knew things were progressing between her and the mystery boy, because she was coming home later, 6 p.m. instead of 4, with no plausible explanation. I was going to let her come to me, but then she came home with a purple mark on her neck, wearing a skirt that shouldn't have even passed the school dress code. She looked down at the ground, like she knew what was coming next. "Honey, who is this boy you're seeing?" "I don't want to talk about it," she pouted, and I guess she saw the look of worry on my face, because that's when she continued. "Dad, he treats me well. He buys me nice things, makes me feel special, isn't married. I mean in a relationship. He isn't in a relationship and I think he loves me." I raised an eyebrow. "Married? What the F?" She went super red before walking into her bedroom and slamming the door shut. I rested my chin on my hand. Something wasn't right. I know 16-year-old boys, and I know they're broke as heck. Plus, my daughter usually prides herself on never making slip-ups while she talks. An awful gut feeling washed over me. I immediately shot up and walked over to the family iPad. You see, I noticed years ago that its camera roll was synced up to my daughter's. Obviously, I never told her this. Usually, when I click on it, I just see dozens of screenshots from Instagram or Snapchat messages involving trivial drama with her friend group, or the occasional flower crown selfie. But this time I saw something much darker, because sitting right there in the recent photos was her and her boyfriend. She was sitting on his lap. This would have been fine, except I recognized his face. It was Mr. Dalton, her English teacher. Suddenly, it all made sense. The extra smiles in the parent-teacher conferences, his constant praise of my daughter. In the parent group chat, they were recently talking about how we should get him a gift to celebrate his oncoming retirement. Bile rose in my throat. I wanted